this would align really nicely with what I'm actually thinking 2023 should look like. We should see a half decent summer rally in tech, and you're probably going to have your crypto rallies and stuff like that. Maybe in the near term we do have to pull back against these lows and clean things up, but I definitely could see a nice summer rally, if you will, into August, September. Then I think we're going to get a pretty nasty pullback into September, October. It happens almost every single year. We had a bunch of these junior stocks. If you're interested in juniors, I don't know whether now is the best time to go and risk your hard-earned money in the marketplace, but we were looking at things like uranium and stuff. There's some really interesting looking little names out there. Other metals and minerals, and I do this screen where I'm just looking for low share count stocks. GEMC, this one sure looked interesting. Hopefully you can see right down at the bottom end of his range. I think I was touting this one a while ago as well on the site. You can see the W is trying to come in here. These are the names that look interesting to me. And there's a bunch of these down here that we were looking at last night that caught my attention. Is that the same one? GEMC. So they're also being reported over here as well. 32 million. I guess that's the same one. So the site likes it so much, they have it twice. Maybe this is like, that's on the NEO. So that's slightly different. Of course, the silver stocks, they're all going crazy. So I don't think we can chase those now. God, I can't remember the name that was, maybe look at these silver names, but you can see, Brian, don't tell me about this now. Tell me about it a month ago. So I could have gotten in. Now it's too late. I suppose you could maybe think about just adding that to your watch list. It's 41 million now. It's not bad. But yeah, there's one that's probably worth keeping an eye on. I mean, you can see how far these things have fallen. This thing was way, way higher. Look at that, eh? Well, over the coming months, 2023 is supposed to be the accumulation year. I might start going and nibbling away on these kind of names here. Shares for debt, options to directors. That's what we really want to see on these things to actually let us know there's some value in this space. I don't know whether we have that on these yet. So do your due diligence on any names that I'm just posting here. Just be careful, okay? Actually, this is interesting. Westport is calm back down. Yeah. So this is one you might want to consider taking a good look at. This was basically they're in the natural gas sort of. I think what they do is they reclaim natural gas from like dump sites and stuff. Maybe with the new tougher emission standards announced by Mr. Biden. Might put the kibosh on a lot of these alternative fuel kind of names in the natural gas industry. I don't know. But he's right back down against the bottom of his range. You get any kind of interesting too. We had a nice little double bottom come in there, and then here we are right back against these lows. Yeah, that might be one to take a good look at. These are all old names that we've been kicking around here. So the good part about it is the Stock Pickers Club. Like I said, I think I showed you one in the public video. I mean, these things can pop violently on any kind of bullish news. Now this thing's got a big sort of weekly W working. Couldn't really buy this here because of course it just gapped higher. But you can see the double bottom. This is kind of like that Westport, right? Where they brought the market right back down against these lows and then put in another bottom and boom, up it goes. So you might find that Westport does something along those lines. Tough to say. I mean, no guarantees, but anyway, something for you to consider. A couple names that in Noman Mines, you can see there's a report from back here. So what was this? So they discovered a deposit at Beaver Nickel Cobalt property. So if anything, if you wanted maybe do some due diligence, if you're interested in getting involved in the nickel cobalt business, caveat emptor, you get a nice little double bottom through these moving averages. This thing could easily take off. And look at that. There's a big gap on this chart all the way up top there at 50 cents. There's one to consider. SWLF, this is SWLF. I've talked to you guys about this in recent sessions. There is the double bottom. Interesting how they brought the market back down against those lows and then just jacked it up here. Keep it on your radar screen if you happen to have a W come in here. It might be worth taking a good look at. Did look at a few of the key reversal names, and I gotta say, if you do shop the market, this platform is totally awesome for just mining ideas. And then, of course, if you're interested in Zach's spread course, you want to try and reduce the cost of participation. Actually, I was going to talk about the breadth, wasn't I? But just to finish off that thought, one thing that we're finding that works really, really well is to hunt things like key reversals and then go look at the spreads. You had seen that I was talking about Raytheon there earlier. Ford Motor Company, interesting bullish reversal. A lot of these names, unfortunately, have just gone zooming up, but I don't think you can buy Corning here. It's just too expensive. But great way to sort of screen the market. Yeah, so there is the outside upside reversal. You could argue this is off a massive weekly W. And does this thing have any room to move up? The old highs there were 46. Actually, this is cheaply priced enough that you might even we might even get a half decent spread. And if you're looking for trending market states, Amazon, we've talked lots about how Amazon basically got wiped out there. Actually, it'd be interesting if we went on like FinViz to see whether Mr. Bezos is back on the buy side here. No, not yet. Might be a bit early on this, but I did notice, and I really like that weekly relationship. MZN. So remember and actually this is really cool because can you see confluence of ideas here now? About, I guess, maybe, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, we got a weekly bullish reversal on the screeners. Is that down here? Weekly bullish key reversals. Yep, there's Amazon, 13th of March. So now you're starting to see trend confirmation. Isn't that cool how that works? So what does that look like? Well, there's the key reversal. There's the moving averages trying to cross. Didn't I say something recently? I think I did this on a free video. But didn't I say something recently about what are you supposed to think if you see moving averages actually put in double bottoms and W's? So that in itself, out of the 13 EMA, oh my goodness, that's insanely bullish. Somebody write that down. I suppose you could argue that there was a W way up top here, but that didn't quite work. Really nice looking little W right there. Oh my goodness, that worked perfect. There's this bigger W. Suppose there was a W there that worked. I love it when I see W's in the moving averages. Just very, very bullish signal. Just even that W in the EMA there, that in itself would be like, woo, probably ought to pay attention to that. W in price, be interesting on a weekly basis if we can get a close, some sort of print above this closing weekly high. Because, if we change this to a line chart. And this is interesting because, I can't predict the future, I suppose. If the Republicans in Congress say, sorry, we're just not raising the debt ceiling, it's just not going to happen, you might find that the whole damn market just melts down. But interesting on the weekly basis. We have the outside upside key reversal. You can see the moving averages are trying to cross bullishly. I think we probably want to get a print where it actually has crossed bullishly. Right now, 98.33 on the fast moving average, 98.45 on the slow. So fast is below slow right now. Doesn't quite turn back up. I think really simply put, if we do actually go and close above this high here, then I think you got yourself probably a pretty good rally coming down the pike. Anybody actually be interested in trading this? I don't know. It's awfully expensive. And when the prices get this high, even the option spreads, they're just too rich for our blood. I could probably see a retest of this 200 SMA. I think we saw this on the weekly, so that's like the 4-year business moving average. I think we saw something. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a cryptocurrency that it dumped through here, came back, counter trend rally, and it's just testing the 200 SMA from the underside. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's coming down the pike. And if anything, what this looks like is big old head and shoulders, right? So this clearly is a huge resist. So it used to be support, turned into resistance line, and if this is a head and shoulders, then it's shoulder, head, neckline, shoulder, and then if this really is an inverted head and shoulders, up we go up here. And actually this would align really nicely with what I'm actually thinking 2023 should look like. We should see a half decent summer rally in tech, and you're probably gonna have your crypto rallies and stuff like that. Maybe in the near term we do have to pull back against these lows and clean things up, but I definitely could see a nice summer rally, if you will, into August, September. Then I think we're going to get a pretty nasty pullback into September, October. It happens almost every single year. It's ironic that the only time that people actually pay attention and look for that, usually that's when it doesn't happen. So if anything, what we want to hear to anticipate that we do get that fall pullback, we want to hear through the summer, people are just absolutely uber bullish, brand new buy signals. Nobody's interested in listening to Brian and his cautionary words of warning, and things are just going straight up. Sentiment's just uber bullish. Maybe Bitcoin's, I don't know, pressing all-time highs, who knows? And then that way oh boy, there's trouble coming down the pike. Interesting how outside upside reversal is still working, and now we're trying to get moving average crosses on the weekly charts.